Some studies have shown that it only takes 7 minutes scan for your CV to either be looked at and accepted or looked at and rejected. What this simply means is that a recruiter can look at your CV just a span of 7 seconds and decide if there's a potential to hire you or if there is no hope for you at all. And that's why I have come here to give you 3 reasons why your CV can sabotage your chances of getting a job in 2023. So if this is a content that you're interested in, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Back to my channel. If you just see my face for the first time, a very big welcome to you. Thank you for clicking on this video, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys for coming back to watch my videos. And I'm going to go right into it. So I came across this article from Jonas V, if I pronounced that right. This is a former recruiter that has come to share some experiences from when he was a recruiter. He's told us some reasons why people's CVs have made them to not land certain jobs, and I just felt like this was a very important content to come and share. I haven't really done anything concerning like jobs or relocating this year, and I'm happy to be opening the floor with this one. I'll just advise that you stay to the end of this video so you do not miss out on any important information that I will be sharing in this video. It's not enough that you are there seeking for jobs. I know there are people that have done all sorts of things. They have tried to go through the right route. There are people that have paid agents. There are people that have done all sorts of things. There are people that have even had to marry someone just to be able to relocate to the UK. But then there are those that just want to just keep applying for jobs and applying for jobs in the right channel, and they think that they're doing everything right. They are ticking all the boxes, they are crossing all their T's and dotting all their I's, but it's not just settling for them. They're not just hitting those jobs that they want to actually hit, and they're wondering what the problem is. They don't know that it's just tiny details on your CV that are causing you not to get these jobs. Now your CV comprises of the most part of an employer trying to recruit you, because most times the employer doesn't even see you, because of course they have to see your CV first before they decide on calling you for an interview or even not calling you for the interview. And it's very painful when your job application doesn't even pass that screening phase of your CV. Your CV doesn't even entice the recruiter to even call you for an interview, and sometimes you get a message saying you've not been shortlisted, or you don't even get any message at all. For nurses that have been trying to relocate to the UK, you know that message that we get, unfortunately. Yeah, everybody knows that term. Unfortunately, you have not been selected for this. So now for this video, we're going to be talking about 3 resume mistakes that can actually sabotage your job application. First point is failing to convince your potential employer that you can get the job done. And what does this mean? Most times when employers get your CV, which is usually your first point of contact with them, when you see a job advert, you're interested, you go ahead to apply, probably directly to the office, or it could be like through online applications. So you send in your CV, and then your employer goes through your CV because that's the first thing that they see, and are just not convinced from your CV that you can actually get the job done, depending on the job description or the job role that you have applied for. Now, how do they check these things? Some of the things that they check is your previous job roles, the places that you have worked, your years of experience, how many years you spent on this job, and your employment stability. 2 most important things that employers look for most times is the level of experience that you have gotten on previous jobs, and they also look forward to seeing if you have the sustainability to stay in the job. That's how long you have spent in your previous employment and how long you are likely to stay on this current job. Now, this is what I tell people sometimes, because I've seen people's CV where they just put employment history, they put the name of the hospital, and they just go forward to write their job responsibilities and roles. They do not even include the time they spent within these organizations, when they started and when they elapsed their employment with that company or hospital, whatever setting it is. And these are things that employers really look for, because they want to know if you are very reliable and if you are someone that actually can sustain a job and that can remain in a job. And this is why I tell people that when you are making your CV, you have to have a very catchy heading. Now, some people go forward to putting irrelevant informations on their CV which are not even necessary, which is not what the employer is looking for. For instance, the employer does not want to really know your address. Address can come in later, it's important, especially when it has to do with some jobs that make you like relocate out of the country that you are currently in. But that's not kind of things that they want to see. They don't really want to see your religion, as some people go ahead to put, or sometimes people go ahead to put their ethnicity, the state where they are living, and a lot of other irrelevant things that go on your CV. Those are not what they're looking for. Go ahead and put a very, very, very catchy heading. Your professional summary should be very catchy. Your objectives should be very, very catchy. Your employment history should be spot on. You should have every important thing that you're supposed to have: where you've worked, your employer's name, the date you were employed, and the date that you elapsed your employment with that organization. And go ahead to list all your relevant job roles and responsibilities for that job. Now, don't go and start putting irrelevant things, because like I said, 7-second scan is enough for your employer to say we're taking this person or we're not taking this person, because trust me, they have loads of CVs to go through. So they do not spend as much time as we think they spend looking at CVs. They literally go forward and look for keywords. And that's why I also tell people that whenever there's a job advert, make sure you look for the keywords, key things that they're actually looking for to include in your CV, because if they don't see those things that they're looking for in your CV, already that's a turn off, and they're just going to probably fling your CV into the trash, where they've probably put some others as well. The second thing that can cause your resume to sabotage your chances of getting a job is you not demonstrating that you can sustain an employment for long term. And what this means is, like I said, still related to the first point, you putting that you've worked with this organization and also showing that you've not worked with these people for a very, very long time. Some people, when you see their CV, you see like 5 different employments under 1 year, or even 7 different employments under 2 years. And trust me, no future employer wants this, because what it just shows them is that you don't know how to sustain a job, or you've not yet defined your goals or your objectives for what you're looking for in a job, and that's why you keep jumping from one place to the other. So what's the guarantee that when they give you this job that you're going to remain in that job and not do what you've been doing previously? Nobody wants to just employ someone and in the next 2 months or 3 months they zoom off again. Nobody wants that kind of thing. And that's why putting when you started the job and when you also finish that employment is very relevant, because they want to see that. And probably if you don't include it in your CV, they might think that something is shady, and that's why you've not included it. So always try to include it. Always try to be honest, despite whatever could be going on your CV. Always try to include the dates that you've worked within a particular organization, and make sure you include it in every other place that you've worked at. If there are actually gaps, you have the opportunity to explain. But I would say when you are attaching your CV, always attach a cover letter as well. Some people have this habit with just sending out CVs without putting cover letters. So cover letters can be typed as the body of an email rather than even typed on a paper, except you are doing like a physical submission of your documents, and then you can submit your physical CV and also a physical cover letter. But if it's an online application, maybe you are sending it through a mail or through the organization's website, always type out your cover letter as the body of the email. Type it out and attach your CV with it. There you can explain whatever gaps or the reasons for you leaving those employments when you left. It gives the employer an insight as to what happened, and it gives you a chance to explain yourself and change whatever perception that they're already having about you regarding that job. As much as employers don't want to see that you spend short terms in different employments within a short period of time, they also don't really want to see someone that has been in a job for a pretty long time. Everybody wants someone that grows, okay? So your CV is showing that you've been in a particular position for a very long time. It calls for different kinds of red flags. It shows them that you're not someone that probably wants to grow. You're not someone that is interested in improving yourself. And even if you have a very, very compact CV with a lot of information, a very rich CV, as long as you have not been trying to like grow yourself or develop yourself, what it just tells your employer is that those skills that you might have had, you've not been able to rebuild or even develop yourself or even gain more skills. So you might not be bringing much to the table. You might be bringing old information or old knowledge to the table, and they might not be moved enough to actually take you in as an employee. So these are the things that you should look out for. So even if you are in a place working for 20 years or whatever, make sure that when they check your record or you check your history or your CV, you have been progressing up the ladder, and you're not just in that position that you started in with the organization, because it doesn't look good at all. So that's the second thing that could ruin your chances of getting a job from your resume. The third one, which is going to be the last point, is not presenting your CV in a very palatable manner, not having a good presentation of your CV. And I always preach this every time. Now, you have to make sure that there is a proper structure of your CV. There are many examples of what a good CV should look like for each job category that you're looking for. That's why Google is amazing. There are apps that can help you create CVs these days, online apps. All you have to do is take your phone and literally Google these things. But sometimes people are more interested in using their phones to Google a lot of irrelevant things than actually doing things that would help them move forward in life. That is just facts that I'm spitting right now. But Jokes aside, okay, there are apps that can actually tell you what to do in order to create a very, a properly structured CV that will entice your employer. Because the first thing that people look at before they really even go into the contents of your CV, even in that 7-second scan, the first thing is your presentation. So I pick up your CV and I look at it, and it's quite catchy. It's properly organized. I can see all those headings, outlined, very professionally written, relevant informations on top. There are no digressing or irrelevant informations up there. Already I'm enticed. Proper organization, good design. I'm really enticed, and I'm like, oh, I want to see what this person is all about. That can only take me like 1 second or 2 seconds already to see what I'm looking for in your presentation before I go further to read. But if I pick up your CV and it's just disorganized, you have a job description or your previous employments coming before your professional summary, or your references are the first things to see, or a lot of other things like that, already I'm like, this person is disorganized. If you cannot take the time to organize your CV, how do you want to take the time to organize the work role that you're applying for? These things are just simple facts that people really think about when they're trying to employ you, because employing you doesn't just have to do with like, okay, the experiences that they've gained. A very big part of it, but it's not all. Employers look for a lot of other things, and just organizing your CV, putting it in a very professional way, can make them know that, okay, this person has what it takes. If they can be this organized and comported making their CV, then they can also be this organized and comported when it comes to uptaking their job roles. Get the point? Yeah. And another thing is grammatical errors. Everybody might not be so fluent in English. Someone might be fluent in English but not really be good with spelling. Now this is where you have online apps as well that can help you proofread. You might need to pay a little bit, and think there should be some that are free that can do it free for you. Now this is the point where you use those online apps to proofread your work, or you have friends, you have family members that are very good and fluent in English and can speak good English. Beg them as well to help you look at it. Okay, people that would not be judgmental, at the same time people that would also spit facts to you and tell you the truth where you are lagging behind or where there is a lapse, and help you the right way to structure your CV in a very good and presentable way. You can ask people to help you proofread it just to make sure that you're not making any mistakes. You might even be very good in English, but there are things that your eyes might not see because you are the one that wrote it, but then you give someone else to read it and go through it for you. I would actually be able to spot out those mistakes that you have not seen. Your CV has to be 100% perfect for your employer to be enticed to want to even give you a go. So you want to include your achievements, you want to sell yourself, because the employer does not know you. They don't know what you've done, they don't know where you've been, they don't know what experiences you've encountered, they don't know the hardships that you have gone through. It's your CV that would actually speak for you and tell them that, okay, this person is really ambitious, this person is outgoing, this person has achieved a lot of things, they've made impact. And even if you stayed a very long time in a place, aside from growing up the ladder, let there be things to show that you have really made an impact in this organization despite your long years with them. These are things that make your employers enticed, and they want to see what you're all about, and that's when they give you the chance to even come for an interview. But failure to take note of these 3 points that I have mentioned, your CV will literally get thrown into the trash in less than 7 seconds if care is not taken. And we don't want that. It's 2023. It's a new year. We're going to keep applying for jobs. We're going to keep trying to ace those jobs, that we want, that we've always wanted, and we're going to get them this year. But you need to make the decision to start being intentional about your CV. Your CV is the first thing that you would do. And if by now you as an adult have not created a good CV with a good template, and you have not updated your CV till this point, my brother, my sister, I don't know what to tell you. Everybody should have their CV handy. If you want to have the physical copy, fine, but your CV should always be lying around somewhere in your phone. It could be in your iCloud, it could be in your file manager, anywhere, but you should always have a copy of your CV on your phone ready to go. Your phone, your laptop, or your phone, because you're always with your phone everywhere, so that in case there's anything that just lands like this, you'll be able to just quickly send out your CV to whoever needs it at that time. And guys, I hope you have learned 1 or 2 things from this video, and I hope that you start employing these things that I've talked about, because trust me, if you do, you would probably start to see good changes, and you probably ace that job that you have always been meaning to ace. And with that, I'm going to end this video here. And if you've not subscribed and you want to see more content like this, please press the subscribe button, support me, and like this video as well. Share to people that you think this will be valuable to, and I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, take care. Bye.